he's dangerous. He's got dynamite in both fists.
This is a big fight for boxing fans all around the world.
How to exploit Joe's weaknesses and recognise his strengths.
Frank Warren suggested that the winner of this fight will go on.
Oun Abbas here for Seconds Out, here with none other than Kevin Mitchell. Kevin, we meet again. A couple of weeks ago I met you at the Josh Taylor fight. How you doing? How's life treating you?
Yeah, well, it's been very good, mate. Yeah, thanks. Coaching's been very good. In this time what's been going on, it's been a bit of a headache, but yeah, I'm missing the amateur fighters down the West Ham gym, but been doing the pros, so it's all been good.
We're going to come down. We're going to talk about that sort of situation very soon. But we're here finally. The Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce fight is happening. First of all, your fighter Hamza Shiraz is on the undercard. Talk to me about him. You know, there's a lot of talent there, visibly. He's done what he's needed to do in his fights. But how far can this kid go?
Well, you know, I've only been working with him for this one fight now, and I've partnered up with Will Jones, my mate, and working with him. He's a very mature kid. He's very headstrong. He's got a good way about him. I think he's got great ability. I've seen him spar some good sparring partners, and I've seen him dealt with them very easily. I just think he can do what he wants to do. Kids like that, you go, oh, they can be world champion, oh, they can go and do this. But there's no point blowing smoke up a fighter's arse. You've got to let him do it himself. And you'll see him for certain fights, you'll see him grow. I'm pretty sure that I'll add to his armoury and what he's got, I'll add to it, because I've learned from experience and over the years what it takes to fight at that level, and what sort of training it takes to basically be there. And yeah, and the commitment that he's going to have to give his whole life for it. But I'm sure that he's got a great future in the sport.
Kev, I was talking to him yesterday and asked him in regards to looking at his opponents. Does he look at does the coaching staff, yourself and Will, look at him? Are you the guys that sort of sit on YouTube and pick out the flaws of the opponent, you and Will?
Yeah, sort of thing I used to do with Tony Sims. Like Tony Sims would look at my opponents, and as I'd fight as a fighter, I'd look at my opponent. I was good at making game plans up and tricking with tricks and that with fighters. I'd read their body pattern and their movement in certain rounds. I'd go to different fights of what they do and how they do things. But I think this kid is quite basic. You can't overlook any fight, because any fighter can walk onto a shot and get hurt by him. But like, as in looking at this kid, he's very basic. He's going to come to win. That's what I'm hoping. I'm not hoping he comes out and closes up and don't want to fight, because that's the worst thing in the world, because they're hard then to get hold of. If they come out to win, you can then get hold of them, button them. I think this kid will come out to fire a few shots. I think he'll realise his timing, his distancing's great. I don't think he'll be able to get near him. I think he'll walk onto a couple of shots and we'll seal the job done. But if that's not the case, and we have to go to Plan B, we'll have Plan B on the cards. I'm ready for whatever needs to be done.
Cool. I do want to talk about the main event. We did speak about this a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Both fighters have had the press conference. They've done a few media commitments this week. They've got the weigh-in later on today. Change your mind? You said Daniel Dubois was going to win this one for you a couple of weeks ago. Have you changed your mind? Anything different?
No, you know, I watched a lot of heavyweights. The heavyweight game at the minute, if you're on heavyweight now, get on the scene, because there's money to be earned. And if you can half fight and you're half decent, there's big money to be earned at the minute. But I just believe Daniel Dubois is... don't get me wrong, Daniel Dubois ain't the best spokesman, he ain't the best... but he's a straight kid. Yeah. But what he can do is he can fucking fight, and he can fight good. He fights very good. His hands are just speaking for him. And I just believe he's got what it takes to become the next big thing. I think at the minute, what's good for him at the minute on the heavyweight scene is the only person that'll beat him, I personally believe, is Tyson Fury. But you look at Tyson Fury in 2 or 3 years, he won't be here anymore. So that gives Daniel Dubois a massive... It opens up for Daniel Dubois, because I think Daniel Dubois then, I think he takes over. But then also what it does give Daniel Dubois is loads of dancing partners, because there's loads that dance with in there. So I think the next 10 years we're going to see a great heavyweight become like AJ is now. I think in the next couple of years you're going to see him knocking heads with AJ, and I think he'll do good things. I just think, and Joyce is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, Joyce has done it all, but I think he's a bit older now, and I think a lot of the amateurs that turn pro very late, being a good 3-round fighter don't mean you're a good 12-round fighter. It's two totally different fights. It's the game plans are totally different. The training camps are totally different. Making the weight is totally different. And I think, as you're seeing now, the Olympians coming through, I think the ones that come through and they're turning pro and the Olympians are turning pro 18, 19, 20, they're going to be great pros. But I think the ones that are turning pro late, it's a big ask to change them at that age. You know what I mean?
Cool. I did want to talk about sort of the amateur scene. You said a few of them have been cancelled because of the situation that we're in.
Course, yeah.
We know that the government released a statement about the investment they're putting into sports.
Ridiculous.
Boxing was not one of them. It affects a lot of grassroots boxing, amateur boxing. Just talk to me about this, Kev. I know you're not happy about this decision, so just let me know. Just tell me exactly and tell the fans exactly what you're feeling at the moment.
What you got to think is, like, you got from my sort of background, you come from council estates where you got people with no money, people with a lot of high stresses. They've on bad mental health. The mums and dads, they're booze heavy. They're arguing majority of the time. They're at home now in each other's pockets, so they're fucking arguing more than ever. They're drinking. They're on drugs, and the kids' little outlet, the kids' way of getting away for that time, a bit of space away from that madness, is in the gym, and then that's their happy space. That's their family. That's where you need to get these kids out of these gang cults and keeping the gyms closed. What are these kids doing? They're forming more gang members. You want to get these kids in the gyms and keep them in the gyms. I'm lucky. I'll be fair to you, I'll say it straight. I won't lock down. I won't let my kids lock down. I won't let my fighters, none of my fighters lock down, and I'll keep them all going. Purely down to the fact that they're better off in the gym with me than out there on the streets getting in trouble in gang life. Because this day and age, in my generation, you'd have your punch up. I think late on in my life, 14, 15, people started to pull knives out. But now you've got 14, 15-year-olds using knives and stabbing people, cutting people. And it's not happening like here and there, it's happening everywhere. But and the government know what they're doing with that as well also, because if they really wanted to, they could just put a few big sentences on the front page of the paper where kids are getting 30 years, 40 years for killing people. That soon slow it down, but they're not doing it for, there's a reason they're not doing it for. Do you understand me? If they wanted to make an example of people, they would put it in the national press, front page of the paper, and they'd shut things down, but they don't do it because they're not bothered about it.
I spoke to Frank about this yesterday, and he actually pulled out a very good point. He goes, when the MPs need votes, you'll see them in boxing gyms with the cameras and they'll have gloves on.
You've seen Boris Johnson. Yeah. Not being fun, I don't know Boris. He might be a nice fellow, he might be an absolute idiot. But as soon as he wants votes, he's in the gyms with his gloves on. And not being funny, these kids need the gym. They as I say, their home is not. Some of their homes are great homes. Not always that's the case. Even like I was saying to Will was on having an interview yesterday, that even for the parents, dads, mums that are struggling with single mums that are struggling with mental health, they come in the gym and have a go on the bags and that, doing the classes. The dads are struggling with mental health. They've got bad drinking addictions. Getting them there, and they want to change it. They want to stop themselves drinking. They come to the gym four or 5 times a week to get themselves away from the pubs. But nah, what they're doing, they're indoors. They bang on the booze. They bang on drugs. And it's just downward spiral. But the government are controlling what's going on. They need to pull their thumb out of their arse. Fucking get people back to work. Because whatever this virus is, it's going to do its circle. It's going to do its course. You're not going to stop it. And I'm pretty sure they knew what was going on when this virus first came out. I think they just need to get over with it now and get everyone back to work and get amongst it. Because what's going to happen is going to happen. And people being at home, like, you got people committing suicide. The rate of suicide's gone up. Not being funny, cancer's been killing people for how long? Suicide's been killing people for how long? Suicide's gone up. The cancer rate, people it's just ridiculous. And this virus is not as bad as they're making it out. Don't get me wrong, it is bad. I've had mates that have had it. I've had friends that have died of it. I've had friends' father, I've had ex-girlfriends' dads died of it. So it is bad, but you've also got to get amongst it. It's killing people's businesses, it's killing people's lives.
It is that. Final question from myself. One of our own, one of the Brits, Callum Smith, is now fighting Canelo. It got announced last week. Big fight, great fight for Callum because he's been chasing this fight for over a year now. They have actually, yeah. But give me your thoughts on that fight. How do you see that one playing out?
I think, don't get me wrong, Canelo took big shots off Golovkin and it didn't even budge him. I've watched that fight over in this lockdown. I've probably watched that fight over a few times, and I don't see Canelo. I don't see any vulnerabilities unless he gets caught out getting eating that dodgy steak. That's the truth in it. And I won't bullshit. I won't hold my mouth. I've never been that person to hold my tongue. They've all eaten that steak, so they're all strong as they come. And I think Callum could hurt him, but not at this moment in time. I just think like he's indestructible, and the reason that he's indestructible is because he's eating that good bit of steak. And that's the truth. You can sugarcoat it all you want, but we all know the truth, and it is the truth. It's been going on for in America, it's been going on for like 20 years. And over in England, I suppose only the last 5 years it's started to break on the scene a little bit, but it's been happening. And I just think if it was like an even 50-50, and I know Callum's clean, I know Callum's a straight goer. If it was a clean 50-50 fight, I fancy Callum getting the job done, but it's not a 50-50 fight, and that's why this kid can walk through walls, and that's why when Golovkin hits him on the chin, it looks like as if he's just jabbed him. Yeah, so fingers crossed Callum comes out all right.
Cool. Kev, I know you've got to attend to your fight. The weigh-in's happening very, very soon. So I'm going to leave you and let you do what you need to do. But no doubt, we'll speak again soon. Thank you very much for talking to Seconds Out. It's all man.